What's up, my chatterboxes? I'm sorry I'm late. I was exhausted yesterday, so I could not get this review out last night, but I'm getting it done for you guys today. If you guys haven't done so already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. This is my review for Love at the Lockup, Season 3, Episode 3, Date with Destiny. So it starts off with one new couple, Tyrese and Shonda. Tyrese and Shauna, they've been seeing each other for around about like 2.5 months or so. He said he met her when he was at work. He said that like something that popped up on his phone, and he was just scrolling through like inmates or something. He was strolling through, and her picture stuck out. He liked girls with big booties, and for a white girl, she do have a big booty. And I'm not even gonna say for a white girl, because now these white girls be stacked, okay? So she does have a nice little rump shaker, so that caught his eye. So we learned that they like I said, they only been dating for around about like 2.5 months. He also has 3 children that doesn't know anything about her at the moment. Anything about her. And she due to come home in 2 days. 2 days, and your kids don't know anything about her. So he's said that he's a catch. He's like a hot commodity around in these streets. He's an engineer. He makes a pretty good living. And he said, I'm a handsome guy. Now, I did take notice when he was watching his TV, he used the baking soda and stuff, and he had some pearly whites. I said, okay, he know about hygiene. I give him that. But he may need to take that girlfriend to the dentist, because that picture with her teeth, they wasn't looking too right. So anyway, he was writing out a list because he has to buy her all new clothing because she has anything. He said she coming out with absolutely nothing. He meets up with his friend of 10 years, and he made a comment talk about like she never liked anybody that he dated. He thinks she'd be jealous. She might got a thing for him, but she could just be concerned because you're dealing with a 28-year-old. You 21 years her senior, and you know nothing about her, and you got her helping you shop for clothing for this girl. Maybe her radar just is up because she don't want her friend of 10 years to get played. But, but maybe you know something that we don't know. So, listen, he had his little chain on. He stuck back in the old days, too, because he had, like, the big clothes on, like how the guys used to wear the baggy clothes. Looked like he had, like, a pelly jacket and stuff. I'm like, okay, he's right out of an 80s, early 90s, rap video. That's what he looked like. He has a little silver chain on with the medallion. So, they end up going shopping. I wasn't really too fond of some of the looks that they picked, but he spent like almost $600 on everything with her. Listen, these women in jail, they're winning. They finding vulnerable men with semi-good jobs, or willing, even if their job's not that great, they willing to blow a bag on them. And that's all they doing is talking to them. Listen, I ain't mad at them. I am not mad at them one bit. If y'all going to be suckers for these women, then y'all deserve everything that's going to come to y'all. That's how I feel. So, little Miss Shonda, she was arrested for unlawful possession of a controlled drug substance. So she basically is locked up for for drugs. Then she been in there like 3.5 years. He's saying she just didn't have no support system around her, and he's trust that she's going to be on the right track when she gets home. And this is her second go round. She's been locked up not once but twice. So I don't know. He said that he's looking, because they asked him, well, what do he look for in a woman? And he says, basically, the big booty was on there. That's what it was. And I'm not going to go through the other list. The big booty is what grabbed his attention. Now, I'm pretty sure you could have found another woman that was free with a big booty that could grab your attention. But for some reason, I think these men that goes after these women in prison, I think they want to be needed. I think that's the draw is with them. They want to feel that someone is dependent on them. I mean, because otherwise I can't articulate why they will go for someone in jail versus someone on the street. You know what I mean? Because normally guys, they are a little different from women. I know women are nurturers and things like that. And I may see how a woman can get caught up in that situation. But normally guys, they don't play around like that. So it's kind of like interesting to see when you see males riding for these women. Like, I don't know. So now we got John and KRISTIANNA. So it starts off where it left off with them. Well, yeah, it starts off where it left off with them. So, like last week, they left us on a little cliffhanger, not knowing if she was going to say yes to the proposal or not. So she ended up saying yes, but she was a little hesitant when she said it. And it could have been the excitement or just like the shock of it all. We don't know. But you know what? I keep looking back because they keep saying KRISTIANNA is 35. That's one hard-ass looking 35. I'm sorry. She don't look 35. I mean, it could have been all the stints in jail, all the drug use. But her ass look old. She look at least 45. 45. That's a hard 35. Well, anyway, she ended up saying yes to the proposal. And you can see how the limo driver kept looking over because I guess he wanted to know, like, is she going to say yes or is she going to stand them up? So she ended up saying yes. All is well in that department. But what she do not know and what John is nervous about because he don't know how she's going to react to the wedding chapel in the next trailer park. You know what I'm saying? Like where the truck is parked at. So she was all excited about the limo. She was like, because when she seen it, she said she actually seen the limo pulling up, but she was like, well, who is that for? And she was like, I didn't have any idea it was for me. And he was like, did you ever think that this would happen? She was like, no. So she was saying in her confessional, like when she dreamed about her wedding, she dreamed that her mom would be there, you know, mason jars there, like the little, you know, like all the little fanfare, her in her little dress with the corset, him in his little purple suit. You know, she wasn't expecting for him to, you know, actually want her to get married the same day she coming out of prison. You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit wrong on John's part. Like, I know you a free-hearted person. You know, you free-spirited and this, that, and the other. But, come on. Let her enjoy freedom for a minute, John. Damn, that's a little bit too goddamn much. So, they was popping a little champagne. They was kissing. You know, they seem to be having fun. I hope it don't put a monkey wrench in their day when she may have to say no. Because I think that's I think that's a lot for him to expect her to just say yes to all at once. I really, really do. So now we see Maurice and Jessica. They like the gift that keep on giving on this goddamn show. So she, you know, picked them up. They're driving. So he's on the phone with his auntie. And he was telling her that he had the license, his California ID, so he's just going to get on the plane to go, you know, back to California because that's where his parole is. So then he made a joke saying, you know, because him and his wife, they have a house in Vegas. Well, his wife has a house in Vegas that he's soon going to be residing at. So he was like, well, maybe I'll just go and... He was like, maybe I'll just go to Vegas and don't say anything to parole. She was like, no, don't do that. Your uncle did that and they locked him up. He was like, no, I don't want to go I don't want to get back locked up. So the auntie was like, well, how does it feel? How does it feel? He said, it still don't feel right. It still don't feel right. It still don't feel the same. So I'm like, he is funny. Like, he a little extra, but he comical. He give me like he give me comical. He was like, it still don't feel the same, auntie. It still don't feel the same. So Jessica was saying how, you know, she want him to do everything the way he's supposed to do it. She said because she has been, you know, doing this jail thing for him and she don't want to with him and she don't want to do the jail thing anymore. She was like, he need to do what he need to do because ain't no going back. And I absolutely understand where she coming from with that. Like, no, we're going to play it right. We're going to play it right. So they end up pulling up. I guess it was like the Airbnb And they pull up to it. It got goddamn chickens. It's a goddamn on farm. A goddamn on farm. So they pulls up. They goes in the house, and when he was in his confessional, the producer was asking him, what does he? I guess they asked him what does he miss most about being out. He was like everything. He was like he missed having his freedom. He said he's glad that he don't have to have somebody telling him when to go to the bathroom, when to do this, when to do that. He was, it's a lot of things, because he even said that he never even seen a plane take off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he never even, yet alone be on a plane, he never seen one even, take off. So it's a lot of things that he missed out on, and he's happy to be home, because he said he don't want to go back to jail. Anyway, so they in the house. Jessica made a statement, because he went to the bathroom, and Jessica was saying how she was nervous, to have sex with him in the free world. Y'all had sex in jail. So, I don't understand. It's not like this the first time you was about to screw him. You already know what it's hitting for. So, why are you nervous? She was like, I don't know if he's going to like it. Well, did he like it when he was in jail? Like, I mean, are you going to like his sex? You keep on saying him. What about you? So, he goes into the bathroom. Well, he was in the bathroom. When he comes out, he's talking about, they got real toilet paper. I'm like, did he just take his shit? Because he did not take no water. Okay? Because men don't use toilet paper to go pee. So, whatever. So, they end up going to, the bedroom to do what they had to do. And he said, he was telling her how he saved it all up for her. He ain't jerk off for a whole 2 months just so he could be ready for her. Now, apparently they didn't have sex in 2 years because he got caught doing something in jail. So, they restricted his conjugal visits. And she said that she think the only reason why he married her so he can get conjugal. Now, they were saying how when they did have the conjugal visits, it was like a 2-bedroom apartment. They had like a kitchen. It was like a nice little setup for him, for an inmate. And he was like, he got a chance, to see that she was clean. It was like some good sex. Like, what I mean? He was able to bond with his wife. I'm like, okay. He seemed to be into her. She seemed to be into him. So they excused the producers out the room. And next thing you know, that's all you heard was boom, 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 boom. I'm like, is you alright in there, Jessica? Is he killing you? Do you need security to come in there? Because, oh my goodness, he tore that thing down. Or she tore him up one way or the other. They was getting it in like cats and got daggone dogs, okay? So now we see Scott. He's getting prepared to meet Lindsay. So it's like 5 hours until her release. He went to this steak place and got them, a nice little steak dinner, the best champagne that place sells. And he goes on to tell us, which we already know, that he has not ever had any physical contact with Lindsay. Like, it's only been through phone communication. And we see Lindsay with her bad makeup having ass. I mean, but I can't expect much for jail. But damn, Lindsay, you ain't got to go that hard on it. Like, sometimes a little bit goes a long way. So how she's talking about how she want pancakes with champagne. She want to be able to just chill and not be bothered. I'm like, Lindsay, you do have a child. You know that you haven't been in her life for a number of years. So I don't think that you should even be saying that you want some time, privacy, or wants to be left alone when you have a child that's waiting on your return. Okay, so you letting me know that you are a very selfish girl, and I don't feel as though that your mindset has changed. I don't. I could be wrong, but the energy I'm getting off Lindsay is she's a selfish wench. That's the energy I'm getting off of her. Anyway, so we, Scott, he's talking about he haven't really, added up how much money he spent on her, but it's somewhere upwards of like $25,000. And the producers was asking him, well, do she think you a millionaire? And he was like, yeah, I guess. Like, so you letting her believe that you got more than what you have, okay? so, because in this scene, we see that he's, want to pull up in like this stretch Hummer limousine, and he want to go all out big baller shot caller, but his goddamn card gets declined. Yes, his card gets declined. And when the guy tell him that his card declined, he had like this odd look on his face, and he just like, put his hands over his face. Like, it's something fishy about Scott. I can't put my finger on it, but Scott ain't who he is. He's not really telling the full story about who he is. That's what I'm getting. Especially with that card declining, and you acting like when, on the first episode when the interior decorator came and he was saying, well, my budget is anywhere between $1 and $1 million. And then your damn your card declined. 1 and 1 ain't adding up to 2. But I don't know. And then that lip is bothering me. They even did close-ups this episode of the lip. I don't know what the hell is going on with it. I really cannot call it. And I don't think it's a deformity. So I'm going to have free license to go in on him. But I don't know. I don't know. It's bothering the shit out of me. Look, did your lip get stuck in a vacuum cleaner? Like, did you play in a vacuum cleaner as a child and it got stuck, and this is the result of it? Like, what is the deal with Scott lip? Please, it's bothering me, y'all. It is. So he plans on having like the steak dinner, because he said one of her meals that she said that one of her things that she said she wanted when she get out was a nice meal, and he was like, and steak was on the menu. So he's going to have like the little dinner with her, and then they'll reunite with her mom and her daughter at the halfway house. That's the plan. Well, we'll see if we're going to even get there. He might got to pull up in his truck, because did you have another card, that they could run, or, or we just walking out with nothing? I mean, I don't know. Like I'm saying, do you got the Hummer or do you not? So now we have Chevelle and Quaylen's mother, Colandria, I think that's her name. So they're at the hotel. So we see Chevelle, she's, unpacking her things. And Quaylen's mother come knocking on the door. So she wanted to revisit the conversation that they had in the car. So she said to her, she was like, that wasn't my intention, to get you all upset. She was like, but it was always my impression that Quaylen was going to come to Texas and you would come with him. And Chevelle was like, no, that's not what he led me to believe. She was like, this is, basically Chevelle is not trying to budge. She has a daughter. She has a family there. Kansas City is where her life is, and she thought that he was on board with that. But he's telling her one thing, like as we found out in his confessional and from what his mom is saying, and he's telling his mom another thing. Like the mom said her one and only concern is Quaylen. She was like, she wants Quaylen to stay on a good track, and whatever she has to do to keep him on that track, she would do. And listen, I understand it. Like, she letting Chevelle know, listen, you're not my concern. You're not my priority. My son is my priority. And that's absolutely right. And Chevelle, you have a child, so you have to take that same notion when it comes to your child. Quaylen ain't going to be your priority. Your child is your priority. And whatever that entails, you move that way. Because mama, she got her son. You make sure you have your child. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So, Quaylen's mother was saying how, Quaylen has been locked up for 12 years. He's on jail mentality. He don't know what the real world consists of right now. So when he comes out, it's a whole bunch of adjustments. She was like, and she just want him to have a fair shake. I absolutely agree with that. People in jail, they don't think in reality. They think in fantasy. They create this, life for themselves. They think everything's going to be peachy and cream. Everything is going to be, just fantastic, no problems. And then they come out in the real world, and then bam, life hit them like with a ton of bricks. And then the person that's there with them, family, girlfriend, wife, whoever, they got to deal with it. They have to deal with that baggage. And Chevelle, do you really want to deal with that? Because you seem like you fragile. You got daggone self. You seem real fragile. Chevelle started breaking down crying. Listen, Chevelle was in there crying. because she was saying, it's a lot. She was telling producers how, she just go ahead. She can't wait to deal with Quaylon tomorrow. And the mom was like, all right, well, I'm going to sleep. I'm like, damn, the mom cold. She ain't console her. She ain't give her a hug. She ain't say we won't figure it out. She ain't say none of that shit. She was like, all right, I'm out. I'm like, oh my goodness. So moving on from them, now we got Shawn and Destinee. Hint: the name of the episode is A Date with Destinee. So he flies all the way to California to be able to pick her up from prison. Now, mind you, she never allowed him to come see her or anything because she said she gained weight. And he was telling the producers how she says she's looked like this, showing them the camera. I mean, the phone of the picture that she allowed him to see. Now, he in there cooking tacos, saying that, I thought this was a nice little touch. He was like, she liked tacos, and I'm going to surprise her with that. Who the hell thinks to bring tacos to a goddamn release? Like, and then the way that meat was coming out, it just, I don't know, all about it just upset my stomach. It really did. So, they not going to be cold. I mean, warm. You didn't put them in like an insulated bed. The whole thing just screamed trailer park, okay? Anyway, so he was, getting prepared. He was saying he had all the things for her makeup, the things that she need. And they was flashing back to, he was like, I know it seemed a little sketchy, me, meeting up with a person I never met in jail. He was like, but when you in love with somebody, it's the love of the game. Some shit he said. So they was flashing back to when the bail bondsman was telling him how, she's a flight risk. If she don't make her, her court appearances and do what she's supposed to do, you're going to be hooked with on a hook with the 50 grand. Now, he's saying how he never spoiled his other girlfriends and things like that. My thing is, I don't understand how you put yourself in that position for a person you don't even really truly know. And I think they only been dating for a few months. You put yourself in a position to be on a hook for 50 grand for an inmate. Make it make sense, because that shit ain't making sense to me. No way I'm putting myself on the hook for 50 grand for anybody. I'm just not. You know what I mean? It ain't like you rich. You're not rich. Okay? So, he's out. Now he's out, because he was driving to the prison. So, he's out there waiting for her. She ended up calling. And she said something to him and then hung up. He was like, she never just hung up on him. So, he was kind of getting like a little up in arms, thinking that maybe something went wrong. So we're back with Quaylon, Quaylon's mother and Chevelle. They're leaving the hotel, in preparation to pick Quaylon's up. So we learned a little bit more. The mom said that, 12 years and a week ago, she got it down to exact time, date. Mama is protective over that boy. She said she knew something was wrong because I guess they were having like a party for her and he didn't show up. So when she finally located him, he was in the hospital with a gunshot wound. And shortly after when they patched him up, they took him straight to jail. So she said she never been with him in normal circumstances in literally 12 years. And we learned, because she said in that previous scene how she don't think that he should come home and jump right into like a family setting with Chevelle. Like he really needs to get adjusted to the outside world. And I'm not always saying mama knows best, but she might be a little right. She might be right, because he was locked up when he got locked up when he was real young. He's been in there 12 years. He might not need to be in a family situation, like locked in with a girl and kid right out the back. But, we'll see. I don't know him. And I don't know, what his mindset is. Maybe he feels as though he's ready for it. I don't know. So, they're in the car. They kind of bonding a little bit. They excited. Chevelle said it's like, a kid in a candy store. Can I hear that? Can I hear that? Can I hear that, please? And, they were just like having a little fun banter in the car. So the mom had asked her, what you think he's going to be thinking about. She was like, well, I haven't seen my mom and I haven't had none in 12 years, so I'm about to get some. So the mom was like, TMI. She was like, I know. I had to throw that in there. So it was cute to see that the mom can loosen up a little bit, because she seemed like she kind of wound too tight. But I kind of understand her a little bit as being a mother, but you still want to let him do what he needs to do for himself, and it's his life to live. You can't protect him from the world. He's a grown man. Anyway, so they finally pulled up to the prison, and they were, waiting for him to get out. So it's the suspense is building. We still haven't seen Quaylen as of yet. So they did say it was like 2 people that was walking out, but we didn't get a chance to see who the 2 people, were. So now we have Shawn and Destinee again. He's finally about to meet his little Destinee. So he was waiting outside because, like I said, she already hung the phone up on him, and he said that's not typically what she do. She normally say, she love him and things like that, but I don't know. It alarmed him. So she finally comes out. Destinee doesn't look like the picture, and she does look like she gained weight. If I'm judging it from, the pictures that he sent. But she doesn't look that bad. I mean, she looked rough coming out, but when she was in her confessional, Destinee, she don't look bad at all. You know what I mean? When she cleaned up real good. So Shawn had a nerve to say, y'all gotta rock with me with this. Shawn had a nerve to say she isn't what he's used to dating. He normally go for short, smaller girls, but he said the spark was there when he kissed him, so he'll rock with it. Shawn. Who the hell you think you are to be judging what someone look? You look like you need to just be happy to get whatever's willing to talk to you. Because you got something going on with your lip as well as Scott. Something ain't right with you. And you don't seem like you wrapped too tight your damn self. So for you to sit up there and actually be judgmental of picking and choosing who you date based on looks, you got some fucking nerves, Shawn. You got some goddamn nerves. But you know what? A lot of these men got nerves when it comes to stuff like that. They can be looking a hot daggone mess, bad hygiene and all, and got a nerve to sit up there and be choosy on who they think they want to date. Like, you better take who wants you. You don't get the hell out of here, Shawn. So, he also says that, because I guess she didn't look exactly like the picture, so he was like, well, he studied that picture that she sent for a long time so he could tell that that's really her. I'm like, so you don't see no resemblance of her in that picture? She does look like the picture a little bit. She looked a little rough. So when she came out, he was saying how, he was like, Dad, you come with a lot of baggage, you with a little cute little joke. So she ran into his arms, and they started kissing a little bit. And she said, how she was just happy to be out of that place. So they, got in the car and was driving off. He gave her the famous tacos. But it seemed to be a big hit with her. She was like, oh, you so sweet. Gave him a kiss. She was like, nice. So she was tearing them damn tacos up. She didn't give a crap if they was cool. So, I might have missed the mark with that, because she seemed like she was a little happy, with that little surprise. So in her confessional, when she got all cleaned up, that, like I said, Destinee didn't look too bad when she got cleaned up. She was saying that she'd been in and out of jail since she was 13 years old. I'm like, damn. And then she a little roughneck. She said she got tired of little ankle monitor bracelet. She took it off and sent it back to them. I'm like, oh, okay, you a little gangster, huh? And she also said that, like, she was just so busy, ripping and running, doing drugs, not really living, not really consumed. She was living the life that she was living, but she was just going nowhere. And, I guess she feels as though she's want to try to change, at least for now. For now. That's the key. For now. Because you've been in and out of jail since you was 13 years old. I mean, you might be a lifetime criminal. Like, institutionalized is what they say. Listen, so apparently Shawn still has this big secret that he doesn't know how to break to Destinee, and he said after he tell her the secret that he's been hiding, then he hopes that she still will want to deal with her. Now, I want to know, and you guys can put it in the chatterbox section below, and we could talk about it. What do you guys think the secret is? Because the way he is making it seem like it's something that can be detrimental to their relationship, and I can't really pinpoint what he might have, what he's talking about. So if you guys got any clue as to what you think it might be, I'm curious. Can you put it down in the comment section below? I will be curious to see what you. All right, so Scott, he ended up getting the limo. After all, he was able to give a different credit card, and it went through. So he made up. Well, I guess he had to explain what went on. He was like, I've been doing so much, $1,200 cell phone bills, getting this, getting that. I just had to shuffle some money around, and, things get basically lost in translation, basically. Whatever, Scott. I'm really not trying to count your pockets, so whatever. The other card worked. All is well, and you guys land. I don't even know how to put a spin on it. So they were, him and the driver, they were on their way to the airport. They was doing a little small talk. The driver was like, I guess you serious about this? Like, what's you guys' plans? Are y'all planning on getting married? So Scott tell him what the plans are and, everything. He gets to the airport. It's crickets. It's literally no one there but this one old man. Like, Scott, asking him, do you know what time the plane from Atlanta is supposed to be getting in? It says on the board 8:30. I mean 8:13. The old man said, I think about 8:30. He said, well, it says 8:13. Is those signs normally accurate? And the old man looking like, yeah. The old man looked like he does not want to be bothered with Scott. Leave him alone, Scott. He doesn't want to talk to you. So Scott, was basically, so as he was walking to the window, the plane was pulling up. And he was saying how he was a little worried because he hasn't gotten any confirmation from her. He wasn't on the phone. She didn't call or anything stating that everything was on track. Now, on the first episode, we seen like during like one of those little brief clips that they show, Lindsay was talking about the coronavirus while she was still in jail. Now, we know that the coronavirus hasn't yet hit, based on what we're watching now on the show. So that's letting me to believe that Lindsay ass ain't get out. And if she got out, she went back in. So we're going to see how this play out. We will see. So now we have John and KRISTIANNA. They in the limo. He break it to her that he want to get married like ASAP. So her concern is she not trying to be late for the halfway house because she ain't trying to, go back to jail. And I absolutely agree with that. Like, you're not about to mess this up. I don't give a fuck what you got going up in your head. So they get to the park where the truck is, the pickup truck is with the, like, makeshift wedding chapel is. So she was a little shocked about, how he had everything. But, she was going along with it. But you could see the hesitation in her. But she was still going along with it. Listen, John had the goddamn wedding dress already picked out. He sized her up. But the size was all wrong because it wasn't working. And he went with a strapless. It just didn't work. Now, I don't know if y'all peeped it. But John jeans was extremely dirty. Like, you want to get married and all of those stuff. You couldn't even come with clean pants. Like, come on. So, she was greeted by, they were greeted by his, his friends. And, John went with the gentleman friend. And KRISTIANNA went with the lady friend. And, she was trying to help her get the dress on. The dress wouldn't work, like I stated. John, he running around racket. And like his friend said, like, listen, we got to do what we got to do. He was like, because we only got limited time. You got to get her back to the halfway house. And he said, he was like, things want to turn out exactly how they supposed to turn out. Whatever happens, happens. This is what the friend tells John. Like, it just is what it is. So when John finds out that she can't fit the dress, he was like, all right, I got another plan. He was like, put the prison clothes back on. Everything is like a rush. And I get him, I get him. He's a spontaneous person and this and the other. But everybody don't move on that kind of time. Everybody not going to go along with your flow. They just not. And especially when you come to life challenges and life, things like that when it comes to marriage. Like, no, you're not about to force me into no marriage. I don't even know if I like you. Come on. Like Christianna said, we only really been dating like for 2 months. She was like, all this is fast. So the lady friend, she was saying to her, look, I'm just going to ask you some questions and you can respond how you want to respond. I don't know exactly what question she asked, but Christianna, I think she said she wasn't with it. Like, she wasn't comfortable with it. I think that's what she said. So anyway, Christianna said in her confessional, like, it kind of scared her, getting married, being with one man all her life, for the rest of her life. I guess she a little player. I guess, she get down with the get down, whatever how she play. I don't know what field she played for, whatever like that. But Christianna wasn't going for it. We don't know how John gonna react to it because it hasn't played fully out yet. But we will see on the next episode. So that's all I have for this episode of Love at the Lockup. I hope you guys like the content. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to holler at your girl. Bye!